Carl. Lord bless you, or at least he blessed me. He'll curse you because you have to get up here. But you'll do okay. So you're going to talk about the daycare center. And if I look back on my years as pastor, many things I'm proud of this church and lots of others. But one of the number one things is that daycare center. It was a white elephant when I got here. The nuns cleared out, the place is gone, empty, and now it's beautiful. And so are you guys. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you very much, Father. As Father said, I am your homily this evening. At all of the masses this weekend, we've been asked, some of us, to talk about some of the ministries here at St. Christopher and how they've personally impacted our lives and our faith community. My name is Laurie Cross. I am the wife to Michael, mother of Max, who is 9, almost 10. I had to promise to say that. And also to Joshua, who is 8. I serve on the Development Commission here at St. Christopher. Mike is currently president of the Parish Council. Our children attend school here at St. Christopher School. And I also work at a Catholic school in the city of Dayton. As you can see, our faith is very important to our family. And we try our very best to give back as God has called us to do. I'm very glad to be here at the 6 p.m. Mass with all of you. Normally my family attends the 11 a.m. Mass, and we sit right there in the very front row, and we will sit in the front row at every Mass forever for the rest of our natural lives. And there's a very good reason for this. When the children were younger, and they were always fussing during Mass, and I know you parents can know what I'm talking about, a very wise woman gave me some great advice. She said, if you sit in the front row, they'll pay more attention because Father's staring right at them. And lo and behold, she was absolutely right. And henceforth, we've sat in the front row for 6 years. And the woman who shared those wonderful words of wisdom with me is Judy Schaub, who's the director of the St. Christopher Center for Children. So I'm forever indebted to her for making our Masses much more bearable and spiritual. Helping our children learn and grow in faith is one of the most important things that we as a parish community can do. We are very, very blessed here at St. Christopher. We have a wonderful school. We have an amazing gift program. We have a wonderful youth ministry. And we also have another wonderful ministry that focuses on children. That is the St. Christopher Center for Children. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the center and the impact that it has had on the lives of my family. Regardless of your politics in this election year, I think it'd be hard to disagree with Hillary Clinton's assessment that it takes a village to raise a child, especially in today's society. Our children are exposed to so much more at such a younger age than so many of us were. Images and noises are all around us 24/7. Many of us who are moms, and a lot of dads, we work, and therefore we need to rely on others who are often not family members to care for our children at least part of the time. I went back to work full-time in 2008 after being home with my boys for 6 wonderful years. I felt in my heart God calling me to the ministry of Catholic education, and after discussing it with my husband, we felt that it was the best time for me to go back to work. One of the biggest hurdles that we faced was who was going to care for our children. We had no immediate family in the area, and of course that was a big question. Fortunately, we are very blessed that right in our midst we had the St. Christopher Center for Children. We had had no experience with the center up to that point. In fact, we hadn't even joined the parish until 2004. But God obviously led us in the right direction because our youngest has been at the center since preschool. My kids have been there for summer program, before school, after school, you name it, they've been there. And the center has truly been a godsend to our family. It's so much more than just a safe haven and a place to play with your friends and have great snacks, although of course it's all of those things too. The spiritual growth of every child is at the center of what they do at the St. Christopher Center for Children. The staff encourages a respect for God, for self, for others, and the law. Judy and the staff are so attentive to a child's behavior, but never critical of a child, and always working out issues with positive redirection. An air of spirituality permeates everything that happens at the center. One day when I picked the boys up from after-school care, my youngest said to me, "Mom, I just love daycare." And I said, "Well, why is that?" And he said, "Because we talk about Jesus." How awesome is that? It's not uncommon for me to get a call or an email from the staff if they notice that something's not quite right with one of the kids, or maybe they're having an off day, or maybe they seem a little distracted. By working with us and being attentive to our kids, we can catch any issue before it develops into something major. Our kids love Mrs. Judy, as she is known, and the whole staff, and they know that they are unconditionally loved in return. That love and the love of Christ that is at the heart of everything that happens at our Center for Children has been, without a doubt, one of the greatest blessings of our life. Another blessing for us is the fact that stewardship is alive and well at the center, even among the very youngest in our parish. Under Judy's leadership, the children at the center learn from teaching and by example their roles as disciples of Christ, even as young as 4 years old. As an integral ministry of the parish, the center teaches our children stewardship firsthand through a variety of efforts that have happened over the years and continue to go on. The kids help tend the parish vegetable garden. Does everybody even know that we had a parish vegetable garden? That provides fresh vegetables to our local food pantry. They also help do collections for the food pantry every year. When the Cornerstone campaign was started here in the parish, the kids also got involved with a Million Pennies campaign. They were challenged to donate 1,000,000 pennies to the Cornerstone campaign, and we had a gracious donor who volunteered to match whatever the children brought in. Well, guess what? They made their goal. What an awesome, amazing thing for our parish, and what a wonderful lesson for children even as young as 4, 5, and 6 years old. At Thanksgiving, the children at the center make packages for the soldiers overseas, and they've also made special items for residents of a local group home for mentally challenged adults to ensure that these residents had something for the Christmas holidays. The Urban Catholic School, where I work as an administrator, is starting a new after-school program. Judy has graciously volunteered to help us get started, and she assisted us in organizing the mounds of paperwork, as you can imagine. She spent hours with our staff to help us get ready for our licensing inspection, even calling the state on our behalf when we had questions. This on top of her own full-time plus position at the center. My kids kept asking me, "Why are you meeting with Mrs. Judy so much?" I could tell they were just a tad bit concerned about that, because I think they thought it was about them. But I welcomed that question, as that opened up the opportunity for a really good conversation about what Judy and I were doing and the power of giving back and why it's so important. I really could go on and on about our experiences at the Center for Children. As I said, we feel so truly blessed that we've had the opportunity to be part of that wonderful ministry. If you have small children, there's my commercial, or know anyone looking for the best Christ-centered preschool and childcare in the area, I urge you to stop in at the center. I urge you to stop in at the center anyway and see all the wonderful things that are going on with the smallest among us. Psalm 116 asks, "How shall I make a return to the Lord for all the good he has done for me?" Today, I'd like to encourage you to prayerfully consider how you can support the many ministries of St. Christopher Parish with your time, talent, and treasure. God intends each one of us to play a unique role in the divine plan. The challenge then is to understand our role and to respond generously to this call from God. Some have more talent than treasure, some have more treasure than time, but all of us can give something. It is our duty to be stewards of the church today, so that the church will be here tomorrow for those who are the smallest among us and for those yet to come. Thank you. God bless.